most beautiful Hindu temples in the world. Hinduism is one of the world's oldest religions and has over 900 million followers worldwide. It follows four major traditions of Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Brahmism, and Shaktism, though there are others included. Though most of the Hindus live in India, there are substantial numbers present in Nepal, Bangladesh, and Indonesia. Temple construction in India started nearly 2,000 years ago and marked the transition of Hinduism from the Vedic religion. The architecture of Hindu temples has evolved ever since, resulting in a great variety of styles. They are usually dedicated to one primary Hindu deity and feature a murti, sacred image of the deity. Although it is not mandatory for a Hindu to visit a temple regularly, they play a vital role in their society and culture. Home to more than 1.2 billion people, India is a kaleidoscope of diverse languages, beliefs, and religious practices. The country has at least 9 recognized religions, including Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Sikhism, Jainism, and several tribal and folk beliefs. The mix of faiths fluctuates wildly depending on the region of the country. Hinduism has a complex system of deities that represents natural elements and important concepts like wisdom, but all of them are included in Brahman, who is genderless and creates, destroys, and recreates itself, along with the universe and its forces. There are 3 gods at the head of a hierarchy of gods: Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, or Shiva, along with their female consorts. Curiously enough, just a few temples are dedicated to worship Brahman, maybe less than 10 in total. Some say Brahma is not worshipped in the same way as other gods because it is believed that his work, that of creation, has already been done. Also, gods take different incarnations for different roles. For instance, Shiva's consort Shakti is also known as Gauri, Kali, Durga, and Maya. When she is Gauri, she is gentle and affectionate. When she is Kali, she is wild and fearsome. When she is Maya, she is an embodiment of all delusions. And as Shakti, she is primal energy. As Durga, she is invincible. She is at once warrior and bride, and the one who provides pleasure, makes a home, produces offspring, and prepares food. Every deity is an expression of one of the gods that conform to the Hindu trinity. To illustrate the vast catalog of gods, consider there are more than 2 million Hindu temples in India according to the 2001 census. And this number has substantially increased by now. Today we present you our picks of the top 10 most beautiful Hindu temples. 10. Shri Varapaksa. This temple is located in Hampi in the Ballari district of Karnataka, India. It is part of the group of monuments at Hampi, designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hampi sits on the banks of the Tungabhadra River and the temple in its main center of pilgrimage. It has been considered its most sacred sanctuary over the centuries. It is intact among the surrounding ruins and is still used for worship. The temple is dedicated to Lord Virapaksha, a form of Shiva as the consort of the local goddess Pampa Devi, who is associated with the Tungabhadra River. The temple's history is uninterrupted since the 7th century. The Virapaksha Pampa Sanctuary existed well before the Vijayanagar capital was located here. Inscriptions referring to Shiva date back to the 9th and 10th centuries. After the Muslims defeated the rulers of the city, many of the decorations were destroyed. The religious sect of Virapaksha Pampa did not end with the destruction of the city in 1565, but rather persisted to the present day. A unique feature of this temple is the usage of mathematical concepts to build and decorate it. It has repeated patterns that demonstrate the concept of fractals. The main shape of the temple is triangular. As you look up the temple top, the patterns divide and repeat themselves, a design already seen a lot in nature. The temple continues to prosper and attracts huge crowds for the betrothal and marriage festivities of Varapaksha and Pampa in December. Each February, the annual chariot festival is celebrated here. 9. Vishnu Devi Temple. Located in Katra in Indian-controlled Kashmir, this temple is set about 5,300 feet above sea level. Vishnu Devi Temple draws roughly 8 million pilgrims every year to the holy cave of the Mother. Most commonly accessed on foot via a 12-kilometer trail, the journey takes about 6 hours for a reasonably fit person. Since it's mostly uphill, there are several places to eat, rest, or stay overnight along the way. The elderly, ill, or injured can request to be carried up the hill on a palanquin. Alternatively, it is possible to take the journey on horseback or even take a helicopter. Once there, visitors are surrounded by dense forests and mountains. The scenery will either glisten with dewy shades of green or glow under a white blanket of snow, depending on the time of visit. From the main temple, there is a cable car that leads to Bhairav Baba, a holy temple about 1.5 kilometers up the mountainside. According to the myth, when the earth was overburdened by the wicked and tyrannical rule of the demons, the goddess Vaishnavi was created when Gauri, Lakshmi, and Saraswati decided to combine their energies to rid the earth of impending doom. From the collective energy of the three goddesses appeared an 8-armed goddess who was riding upon a lion or tiger. After destroying the demons that were burdening Mother Earth, Goddess Vaishnavi was requested to reside on Earth so that she may forever keep all evil at bay. She chose to incarnate as a human named Vaishnavi. 8. Kajara Ho Temple. The Kajara Ho group of monuments is a group of Hindu temples and Jain temples in Hatipur district, Madhya Pradesh, India. They are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its temples are famous for their Nagara-style architectural symbolism and their erotic sculptures. The artwork symbolically highlights the 4 goals of life considered necessary and proper in Hinduism: Dharma, Kama, Artha, and Moksha. Most temples were built between 950 AD and 1050 AD by the Chandela dynasty and have a rich display of intricately carved statues. Historical records note that the Kajara Ho Temple site had 85 temples by the 12th century, spread over 20 square kilometers. Only about 25 temples have survived, of which 6 are dedicated to Shiva, 8 to Vishnu and his affinities, 1 to Ganesha, 1 to Sun God, and 3 to Jain Tirthankars. The Khajuraho group of temples was built together but dedicated to 2 religions, Hinduism and Jainism, suggesting a tradition of acceptance and respect for diverse religious views among Hindus and Jains in the region. The temples are divided into 3 parts: the eastern, the southern, and the western group of temples, of which only the latter facilitates an audio-guided tour. The Khajuraho Dance Festival is held every year in February. It features various classical Indian dances set against the backdrop of Chittagupta or Vishwanath temples. The complex also offers a sound and light show every evening. 7. Brihadishavara Temple. Dedicated to Shiva, it is in the south bank of the Kaveri River in Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu, India. It is one of the largest South Indian temples and an exemplary example of a fully realized Dravidian architecture. It was built in the 11th century and is a part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Great Living Chola Temples. The original monuments were built around a moat. It included Gopura, the main temple, its massive tower, inscriptions, frescoes, and sculptures, predominantly related to Shivaism, but also to Vaishnavism and Shaktism traditions. Some of its original artwork is missing due to damage. Additional mandapam and monuments were added in centuries that followed. The temple now stands amidst fortified walls that were added after the 16th century. Built out of granite, The Vimana Tower above the sanctum is one of the tallest in South India. It was one of the tallest structures in the world at the time of its construction. The temple has a massive colonnaded prakara corridor and one of the largest Shiva lingas in India. It is also famed for the quality of its sculpture. The complex includes shrines for Nandi, Parvati, Kartikeya, Ganesha, Subhapati, Dakshinamurti, Shandeshvara, Varahi, and others. It is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Tamil Nadu. 6. Minakshi Aman Temple, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. This is a historic Hindu temple located on the southern bank of the Vaigai River in the temple city of Madurai, Tamil Nadu, India. It is dedicated to Minakshi, a form of Parvati, and her consort, Sundareshwar, a form of Shiva. According to a legend, Minakshi emerged out of a yajna, sacred fire, as a 3-year-old girl. The yajna was performed by a king named Maladadwaya Pandya, along with his wife, Kanchanamali. Since the royal couple had no child, the king offered his prayers to Lord Shiva, requesting him to grant them a son, but to their dismay, a triple-breasted girl emerged from the sacred fire. When Maladwaya and his wife expressed their concern over the girl's abnormal appearance, a divine voice ordered them not to fret over the girl's physical appearance. They were also informed that the girl's third breast will disappear as soon as she meets her future husband. The relieved king named her Minakshi and in due course crowned her as his successor. The temple complex is the center of the old city of Madari. It consists of monuments inside many concentric enclosures, each layer fortified with high masonry walls. The outer walls have 4 towering gateways, allowing devotees and pilgrims to enter the complex from all 4 directions. The temple prakarams, outer precincts of a temple, and streets accommodate an elaborate festival calendar in which processions circumambulate the temple complex. 5. Harmandir Sahib Golden Gurdwara Golden Temple. This amazing construction is placed in Amritsar, Punjab, northern India. Built in the 16th century, it is considered the central place of worship of the Sikh religion, and it is common for devotees to make the pilgrimage at least once in a lifetime. Often referred to as the Golden Temple, it gets its nickname from its gilded facade, which is covered in pure gold. Inside, visitors will find colorful paintings and intricate tiled mosaics, all representative of Mughal-style architecture. The temple is famous for its langar, a communal kitchen that feeds anyone in need. It is thought to serve more than 100,000 people per day and is reputed as the largest free kitchen in the world. Over 100,000 people visit the holy shrine daily for worship. It was repeatedly rebuilt by the Sikhs after it became a target of persecution and was destroyed several times by the Mughal and invading Afghan armies. In the 1980s, the Gurdwara complex became a center of conflict between the Indian government, led by Indira Gandhi, some Sikh groups, and a faithful movement led by Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, seeking to create a new nation named Khalistan. In 1984, Indira Gandhi sent in the Indian Army, leading to deaths of over 1,000 Sikh soldiers and civilians, as well as causing much damage to the Gurdwara and the destruction of Akal Takht. The complex was rebuilt afterward. It has been nominated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its application is pending on its tentative list. 4. Kashi Vishwanath. Kashi Vishwanath Temple is one of the most famous Hindu temples dedicated to Lord Shiva. It is located in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, India. The temple stands on the western bank of the holy river Ganges and is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas, the holiest of Shiva temples. Varanasi city was formerly called Kashi in ancient times, and hence the temple is properly called as Kashi Vishwanath Temple. Like many other temples, it has been destroyed and reconstructed many times in history. The current structure was built on an adjacent site by the Maratha ruler Ahilya Bai Holkar of Indore in 1780. The temple complex consists of a series of smaller shrines located in a small lane called the Vishwanath Gali near the river. A visit to the temple and a bath in the river Ganges is one of the many methods believed to lead one to a path to moksha, liberation. Thus, Hindus from all over the world try to visit the place at least once in their lifetime. There is also a tradition that one should give up at least one desire after a pilgrimage to the temple, and the pilgrimage would also include a visit to the temple at Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu in southern India, where people take water samples of the Ganges to perform prayer at the temple and bring back sand from its surroundings. Because of the immense popularity and holiness of Kashi Vishwanath Temple, hundreds of temples across India have been built in the same architectural style. 3. Swaminarayan Akshardham. A breathtaking example of Indian architecture, Swaminarayan Akshardham in New Delhi, India, is the world's largest Hindu temple. Though it looks ancient, the structure was completed in 2005, but built in a traditional style. This grand ancient-style, ornately hand-carved stone temple has been built without structural steel. It took 5 years and 11,000 artisans to craft the temple out of regal materials, including Rajasthani pink sandstone and Italian marble. The main temple, called the Mandir, is colorful and dramatic with its 9 domes, hundreds of carvings, and real-sized stone elephants. But it is as well a modern complex. Across the halls, the 60-acre gardens, visitors will discover a series of high-tech exhibitions, an IMAX theater, and even a water show. Its famous musical fountain is India's largest step well. During the day, these steps provide rest for the visitors to the complex, and at night, a show named Sahaj Anand Multimedia Water Show takes place. This breathtaking 24-minute presentation unites a variety of intriguing media to bring to life a story from the Kena Upanishad. Multicolor lasers, video projections, underwater flames, water jets, and surround sound in symphony with lights and live actors produce a captivating and inspiring presentation. International experts contributed their expertise to produce this one-of-a-kind presentation. The complex also holds the Guinness record for the world's largest comprehensive Hindu temple. 2. Kanchipuram Temple. Kanchipuram is a temple city in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu near its capital, Chennai. It is the administrative headquarters of the Kanchipuram district. It is well connected by road and rail and close to Chennai International Airport. Located on the banks of the Vegavathi River, the city's historical monuments include the Kalasanathar Temple and the Vaikuntha Perumal Temple. Historically, Kanchipuram was a center of education and was known as Gatikasthanam, or place of learning. The city was also a religious center of advanced education for Jainism and Buddhism between the 1st and 5th centuries. In Vaishnavism, Hindu theology, Kanchipuram is one of the 7 Tirtha pilgrimage sites for spiritual release. The city houses Varadharaja Perumal Temple, Ekambaraswarar Temple, Kamakshi Aman Temple, and Kumarakatam Temple, which are some of the major Hindu temples in the state. Of the 100 holy temples dedicated to Vishnu, 15 are located in Kanchipuram. The city is important to both Shaivism and Shri Vaishnavism, and is well known for its hand-woven silk saris. Most of the city's workforce is involved in the weaving industry. Kanchipuram is administered by a special grade municipality constituted in 1947. It is the headquarters of the Kanchi Matha, a Hindu monastic institution believed to have been founded by the Hindu saint and commentator Adi Shankararacharya. 1. Padmanabha Temple. This temple is located in Thiruvananthapuram, the state capital of Kerala, India. It is built in an intricate fusion of the Chera and Dravidian styles of architecture, featuring high walls and a 16th century gopura, a monumental entrance tower, usually ornate at the entrance of a Hindu temple. The principal deity, Padmanabha Vishnu, is enshrined in the Ananta Shayana posture, the eternal yogic sleep on the serpent Adi Shesha. Padmanabha is the tutelary deity of the royal family of Travancore. The titular Maharaja of Travancore, Mulam Thirunal Ramavarma, is the trustee of the temple. The Travancore royal family has been accused repeatedly of malpractices in the administration of the temple, which guards treasures in gold coins, precious stones, and antiquities. This situation is fueled by a conflict over power between the traditional family and the Kerala state authorities. The Kerala High Court ruled in 2011 that the state government should take over the control of the temple and its assets. But the Travancore royal family appealed to the Supreme Court. An independent report was commissioned and was completed in November 2012, finding no evidence that the royal family was expropriating the treasures. After long investigation and overturning the January 2011 judgment of the Kerala High Court, the Supreme Court of India ruled that the Padmanabha Temple administration and control would be done by the erstwhile Travancore royal family in July 2020. While in the Western world, most people are part of the Abrahamic faith tradition with only one God, the concept of polytheism is natural within Hinduism, and each deity is responsible for a particular aspect of existence. Therefore, there is a wide variety of gods. This system has been compared to a state that employs a certain number of people in many different areas in order to run a country. Hinduism can be a bit confusing for most Occidentals, but it is definitely interesting, and its vast amount of temple cities represents a huge architectural, historical, and cultural heritage for mankind. If you think about it, it is not so different from other religions, at least in essence. Which of these temples did you like the most? Are you planning to visit India soon? You may let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for more exciting videos.